Bonjour, Jean. Minagizip.
You good, Gene?
Uh,
You ready?
Okay. Good morning. I opened up your meeting. I offered your tobacco and a little food there. I asked Ed to have somebody take the tobacco and that food out when you guys get done with your meeting. Take it out down by the lake somewhere. I made the offering to all directions. Down the south where the thunder beings are, I made an offering to them, the ones that are making noise. Then in the summertime here, all the animals, all the birds, the eagle, the juvenile, and the hawk that I'm named after, RTG, and the animals that are running around. The black bear, the one that my grandpa was with for 4 years. I made an offering to both of them. And the wolf, I'll call him my dog, because he's the one that took me to Vietnam and brought me back. And the water, all the water beings, the island here, the Meguesi, that's the little men that are dressed in net, where our name Net Lake came from. Azapkune, he was dressed in net. I made an offering to all of them, and there's a lot of beings out there. Some serpents, and the keeper of the wild rice, the grandfather, his name is Himino. And the rice bird, Nunikeshi, he's the one that also takes care of the rice. And all the ones that are hibernating, like the snapping turtle and the mud turtle, they will accept the tobacco when they come out of hibernation after the lake opens up. And all the plants in the water, all the plants all over, the medicinal plants, the tobacco plant, the sage, and the sweetgrass, I mentioned the medicinal plants, so I'll mention them again because that's ones I use to make medicine to heal people. And the grandfather, the sun, was shining a light on us today. He won't he'll accept your tobacco in the morning, and he'll accept your food, there, and he'll be smiling down at us that we still believe and we still follow the way that has been given to us as Anishinaabe people. And also the grandfather that helps me, that corrects me, that tells me what to say, make sure I don't make any mistakes. And also Nasi, I made an offering to him with tobacco, with food, because he's the one that taught me how to use the pipe and do the ceremonies. He also told me that whenever you're confused or you don't know what to do or say to help people, he said, smoke them up pipe, and you find an answer. And sure enough, that's what happens. So That's what the extent of what I did in my ceremony. And I'm glad that we still carry on this tradition. I remember a long time ago, there was a man, we used to call him Jupo Frank. He used to go around the village and pass out tobacco before the meeting. And he'd say, oh, hey, where can we go? He'd give mom and dad tobacco and grandpa. And they'd drop whatever they were doing. And they'd go up to the place where they were having their meeting. So that was pretty much the way that they had their meetings a long time ago. The whole village was in attendance to their meeting, and everybody, whoever wanted to say anything or had any requests, that was the time that they would do it. Sometimes their meeting lasts all day up until into the evening. So that's about the extent of my ceremony. And I'm glad to be here. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Thank you, Jean. Bonjour, Anin, everybody. Welcome to the special RTC meeting, February 3rd at Net Lake. We just had invocation by our spiritual advisor, Mr. Gene Goodsky. And at this time, I would like to call the meeting to order, please. Roll call, please.
Kathy Chambers,
Here.
David Morrison,
Here.
Travis Morrison.
Here.
Shane Drift,
Here.
Peter Boney.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions or corrections?
Oh, not right now. No.
Anything else? No?
So the paper ones that we have, that's the correct one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, if no other additions or corrections, I'll call for a motion to approve the agenda.
Move.
Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Next, we have the minutes of the January 20, 2021 meeting.
I have a couple of things regarding the minutes.
Okay,
On the first page, the first paragraph, during approval of the agenda, Shane Drift said he sent an email last week in regards to the CARES Act money. We'd like to see a report on what was spent so far for that money. Chairwoman Chavers and Kim Grant will be presenting that information at the State of the Band tomorrow. After it is presented by her, it will go on a website. Can we include the $1 million that we received from the state of Minnesota? Just to show
yeah.
the numbers, where the money went, how it was spent?
Yeah, and I think also Shane will include there's also specific BIA dollars and we'll include all the monies.
That's a good point.
And because we want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what those dollars were spent on, because it wasn't just US Treasury dollars. There was also like maybe some IHS, all the grants and whatever have you. I think there was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there might have been over like 100 grant or 100 programs that we did out of this funding. So it'll be the different pots of money. Yeah, we will do that. And also I asked Louise to put it in the Boys Fort News.
Okay, good deal. My second thing is on page 2.
Okay.
It's regarding the last, or the third paragraph to the bottom, at the bottom, where it talks about Ben,
Okay,
the tribal prosecutor, and regarding the code, I know during our conversations prior to that, we got into the discussion about adding the degrees. You know, like if, let's say somebody got caught with a pound of something as opposed to 10 pounds of something, whatever, and that they wanted to have the degrees different. So I was wondering if Ben was going to be adding that in there at some point.
I'm pretty sure he was told to do that. We'll check with him and make sure that got completed
Okay,
and added. So I will
Okay.
put that as a note on the minutes.
that's all I had.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the minutes? Okay, if no other questions or comments, I'll call for a motion to approve the January 2021 meeting minutes.
Move.
Moved by Shane. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, Shane, you can't second. Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent, motion carried. I think he does that just to make sure I'm paying attention. Okay, Rob, next we have introduction of new staff.
Okay, first up is Edison Watt, forestry coordinator.
With Zoom, it's kind of difficult to get some of the
I'm not sure if he's on.
new
Okay.
staff. Okay,
Thanks. Then we'll go to Jenny has two employees, Natalie Goodsky, bus driver, and Danny. Sorry. Danny is our other bus driver. See if we got them guys.
hi Jenny.
Can you? Okay, I can see you.
Jenny, you're logged in twice.
I realize that because I have my own here and then I had to log in the new staff.
Okay, because they're picking you up, both mics are picking you up.
Echo in.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Jenny first then.
Okay, who's the new staff?
Danny Lambert.
Danny Lambert. Sorry, Dan.
They have to turn their camera on, Jenny.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
In the corner or something.
How can you see me?
No,
Nope, you gotta flip
Oh,
the
I can't see
camera.
Dan.
your camera's on, but we can't see you.
Wait, Jenny's coming. Jenny's coming back.
Drive. All right,
I think you just gotta flip it.
yeah. Okay,
No, you went.
All getting used to technology.
yeah, here we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hi,
There you go.
Danny.
Hey.
Hey, welcome aboard.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do a great job.
Good driver.
That a boy. Yeah, that's what we like to hear, Dan. Well, good luck with your job, your new position.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome aboard.
Or Danny.
Welcome.
Okay, next.
Who else? Oh, there you go.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Come aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Good luck with your position.
Thank you.
Okay, one more,
One more.
one more.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hi, Tony.
Morning.
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 And Tony's our new
Board.
administrative assistant. Good.
Aboard.
Congratulations. You'll do a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Welcome
lot,
aboard.
Tony.
Bye. Jenny's not yelling at everybody.
Good deal. I just
Good
want to
job on
add that
recruiting, Jenny.
Tony is also project manager for our volunteer driver program, and she's really expanded that. Really good job.
Jenny, are you still looking for volunteer drivers?
Yes, we've been advised that once, this news gets out throughout our entire service area, that we will be needing a lot more drivers. So
Good.
definitely always looking for drivers.
Okay, good. We'll get the word out too. Good job. Thank you.
And next we have Leela Goodsky. She's a housing administration assistant.
I added her, but there's another one in here for housing too, so I don't know which one she's on.
There she is. Is that her? Oh, there's housing too.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Teresa.
I would like to welcome Leela Goodsky to Housing as our administrative assistant. She is a very welcome addition to our team.
She's muted and her camera's off.
Hey,
There
welcome,
you go.
Leela. Congratulations.
She's still muted. She's muted.
Yeah.
There
There
you
you are. Well, congratulations, Leela.
Thank you. This
Welcome
new
aboard.
technology is something else.
Yeah, welcome back.
go.
Welcome back.
Very
Welcome
good,
aboard.
Zach.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's all I'm seeing that's on right now.
Okay. Good. Well, nice to see some new staff. I know that it's somewhat difficult to get them to Zoom because something might come up. So that was good. Okay, next we have the consent agenda, and I'll read it as we go here. Approved to extend the hazard pay policy for transit bus drivers until March 31, 2021. Adopted resolution number 74-2021, amendment to technical standards and tribal state gaming compact for class 3 blackjack to change the style of cards that are used on the blackjack tables from bordered cards to non-bordered cards. Approve the request from Terry Morrison to sole source 3 new CHR cars from Iron Trail Motors. Approve the Net Lake Head Start Parent Committee to hold a raffle February 1st through the 10th, 2021. Approve the Rural Communities Opioid Response Implementation Subaward Agreement, or HRSA. Approve the request from Travis Vaki to pay 2 light bills for band members from the Boys Fort Energy Assistance Program at $350 each. And then approve the summary of funding for the remaining CARES Act funding. Any questions, comments on the consent agenda?
Yes, for the 3 new CHRs cars, when we received that email on DocuSign, I called Randy and gave him a heads up and in hopes that maybe KBFT would be able to approach Iron Trail and see if they could piggyback off that sale. and try drum up some business for our radio station.
Okay.
And hopefully they did. If they didn't, then I guess we just will keep moving forward. As for the Net Lake Head Start raffle, I'll just encourage people to please buy some tickets.
And I believe parents of the Head Start children are selling the tickets, I believe, so. Okay, I do want to make a comment on the hazard pay policy for transit bus drivers. The reason that is on here is because the FTA did approve or did fund hazard pay, an extra amount for hazard pay. And that's why that is on the agenda. Okay, any other questions? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Travis, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Okay, next we have Jenny Rowland with a request to purchase 4 non-emergency medical transportation vans.
Okay, hello.
Who's you?
Ooh,
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, this project has been in the works for quite a while. I've been kind of working with the state of Minnesota. This is pretty cutting edge. This is kind of the direction that a lot of transportation is going to be going in the future. So we're kind of getting in on the bottom rung. What we're buying is this was a grant that I had, a discretionary competitive grant that I wrote over a year ago. And we've got, I got $135,000, and it looks like we're going to be able to purchase 4 non-emergency medical transportation vans, which would be like a minivan with 1 wheelchair position. So there'd be driver, and then of course shotgun, and then 2 jump seats in the back that can fold up to the sides of the vehicle, and then a wheelchair can be pulled in to it. And so that'll be just one more project under the Boys Fort Public Transportation umbrella. Yes, there we go. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. Yes, and this is all manual, like it's not electric or anything like that. So you just manually fold down the ramp, so there's less items to break.
Very nice.
And I'm very pleased. We had a little bit of trouble making sure that we had Buy America qualified chassis, but we did. Talene Transportation was the one that came up. Actually, out of all 3 bids, the only one that came up meeting the FTA requirement of Buy America, and it also turned out that they were the lowest bid. So that was kind of a win-win. The additional bonus is that Talene Transportation delivers vehicles for free.
This is a huge benefit for our community.
This is the direction that we're going. You can see that, we under Boys Fort Public Transportation, we have Big Woods Transit. We have our volunteer driver program. And now we do Kage non-emergency medical transportation. We do Kage, a Ojibwe word for helping others. Now these vans will either transport with our regular drivers, or a family member who has to transport, let's say, a family member who's in a wheelchair for some reason. They will be able to check those out, and I've cleared that with Boyd and our insurance company. They'll be able to meet certain requirements, obviously defensive driving, valid insurance, valid driver's license, and they will be able to check those vehicles out to transport family members.
I just want to say that, in our area, transportation is a huge issue for people to get services or even just to go grocery shopping or whatever. For our handicapped individuals now, and even for just our general public in the area, this is a huge step in the right direction because we're trying to, and I commend you and your program, Jenny, because you're really trying to expand the opportunities for everybody in every way possible. And like someone told us, and I can't remember who it was, but there's a lot of funding out there. We just have to apply for it. And I want to commend you because you did have a matching amount with that grant, but through your program, you were able to match that grant amount by just a certain percentage. Some of the grants that we get have matching amounts. So I just want to commend you and your staff and your workforce there that, you know, you really are filling the gaps with regards to transportation. Plus, the volunteer driver program allows also individuals to earn some extra money and help out getting people to appointments where, you know, before everybody relied on our CHR cars for and our elderly program, but now we've expanded that. So I'm very proud of our program and your workers and yourself. So Team McWitch.
We try to dovetail our services with the CHRs. So if there's, I know that they're limited on the number of out-of-town trips they can do. So if they can do them, then we cover the gap. And if we can't do it, then they cover the gap. So we work very closely with the current programs that are here and available at Boyce Fort. So we try to make sure that we provide the best service possible for our communities.
And these services are also available at Vermilion, correct?
Oh, yes, throughout our entire service area. Absolutely.
What is your service area?
Our service area is, I think we've gone as far as Bike or, of course, Net Lake, Cook, Virginia, Eveleth, Gilbert, up the 169, Tower, Sedan, Vermilion. It's just like a little triangle on the map. It's about 10,000 square miles.
Okay. Good. So any other questions for Jenny?
Any safety features regarding COVID?
We have a stringent mitigation plan that we have implemented right back in like February of last year. So I'm just going to describe to you what one driver would do to meet our mitigation plan for viruses. They do a vehicle check in the morning when they get in, and the bus has been sterilized and it's clean, so they can get in and do their job. And then they pick up their passengers, taking note of where their passengers sit. All passengers have to have a mask on. The driver also has to have a mask on. Family groups can sit together, but everyone else has to social distance throughout the bus. And that determines whether we send 2 buses or a larger bus, depending on how the people have to call in. So we know how many people are going to be on that route in advance. That group of people will get off the bus, and then the driver will go with Clorox wipes and he will wipe down all the areas that have been touched and where people have sat. Then he will take the passengers home again. And then when he gets back to the garage, then he wipes down all those touched areas again. Then he vacuums or sweeps. And then the floors are coated with a pump of bleach, water, and Dawn dish soap, because the outer coating on the virus is fat soluble. So Dawn dish soap cuts grease. And so we add that in. And then when that's done, then we have an actual fogger. Now they can manually fog it. We've got like, they're heavy, but they're like handheld guns. And they kind of go through, each seat like that. It puffs the steam, right? Like those sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then, or we have a larger machine that you just sit and you hit it and it kind of vaporizes the entire inside of the bus and then automatically shuts off after 45 minutes. So one driver using one bus for the day, and then mitigation throughout the day, and then the big slam at the end of the day, and then that bus is put away. So, and we haven't had any cases resulting from the transit. It was very respectful of the virus and very concerned that we know that transportation is a critical service. We have many transit dependent people in our communities, and we did not want that branding. We did not want that branding or that reputation that it was transit that brought the COVID to our community and to our elders. So we've been very diligent. I know I've gotten probably some eye rolls from my staff because, you know, I was very, very intense right from the beginning. And I think with time, they understand now why we had to be that diligent right from the start. Mhm.
Great plan.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that.
Great.
Yeah, good question.
Okay. Yes, very good question.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments for Jenny?
I tell Jenny, yeah, that was when I used to be on the ambulance. We always had every run. We always had to disinfect the ambulance down before we come back and park the vehicle and get ready for the next run. So it was something that we had to do all the time to disinfect the whole ambulance. But it sounds like something that's you're going to be doing the same thing.
Right. Well, you know, I have my emergency preparedness background and history. I came from that type of job in my work career. And so I kind of had a little edge there, kind of little jump on how to implement those policies. So.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve Jenny's request to purchase 4 non-emergency medical transportation vans? All funded by grants. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, nice, pretty. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to have some kick-ass graphics on those vehicles. You can say that word. Because first of all, I want the Anishinaabe thing, the name, We Do Kage, Helping Others, is going to be the name of this project. And I want something that's going to say when we go by, and we're going to be in a lot of communities and we're going to be all over the place because, you know, those vehicles may be in Minneapolis or at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester or wherever the patient needs to go. And I want people to, when we go by, I want them to say, oh, there they are. Mm-hmm.
Good comment there.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, do we have a motion to approve the request?
Move.
Moved by Shane. Is there a second? Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Great job, Jenny.
Miigwech. I appreciate your
Miigwech.
support. I really do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Keep it up. That was good. Okay, next we have Jalen Strong with a discussion on partnership with Indigenous Peoples Task Force. Keep the Fire Alive to use the reservation for their programming. Morning, Jay. Bonjour.
So this was kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about whenever we were at our Turk committee on Monday. It's still in the planning phase, so I just wanted to get kind of ahead of it. But when I was helping out some of the YMCA camps, some of the things that they were asking for, like land acknowledgement statements or how to incorporate and be more inclusive, I guess, for like basically people of color and Indigenous people. We ended up getting in contact with the Indigenous Peoples Task Force down in the cities, and I know Susie was on last council meeting to talk about some of their plans and stuff. But a portion of that is Keep the Fire Alive, which is kind of it does kind of a lot of things. Basically, it's kind of suicide prevention, suicide awareness, and substance abuse awareness through like the medium of either youth acting or I think now they're kind of working on poetry and whatnot. So it's just different arts that you can do. Or that is to try to get more in touch with like their culture. And so while we were talking at the YMCA camp, we kind of thought, one of the things that that they would like to do, and they kind of do every year, is try to go on like a trip to somewhere to kind of either like team build, I guess, but also like learn a little bit more about like the heritage of their culture and stuff, because they kind of service a lot of kids that are from the metro area. So they're not all Ojibwe kids, but one of the things that they asked is if they'd be able to come up here, since a lot of the employees over at Indigenous Peoples Task Force are enrolled band members. And so they asked if if it'd be possible for them to come up and have like their camp here. And so it's still being planned, but basically like the rough copy of it is that they'd be staying primarily at the gym in the Vermilion Center, and they would schedule all their time outside of the Boys and Girls Club, so they'd be all outside. The only community members that they'd really come in contact with is going to be me and myself and Squidge, because that's like all the activities at that time we'll both be, have our second round of vaccinations, and it's going to be like the date that we have in mind is like I think it's March 20th or like March 18th through the 20th or something like that. So it's like so beginning up here Thursday night, Friday, and then Saturday, and leaving Sunday. 18, 19, 20, and leaving the 21st. And so this is something I just wanted to kind of get on your guys' radar. I'll probably ask once we have it more fleshed out, I'll come back at the next council meeting and ask if it's possible to use that. Use those locations. I already contacted since Squidge has kind of been a partner in this as well, we already contacted Kristen to see if we'd be able to use like the gym for that's where they would stay, and then they could social distance themselves if they wanted to, but they have their own transportation up here. So everything is kind of their COVID protocol is going to be kind of like managed by themselves. We would basically just be providing a location for them to get out of the cities, to kind of be able to do their own activities, and then just kind of go out to the wilderness that I guess is obviously not available in the cities, and then do some programming with them.
Sounds like a great thing. I don't see a problem with it. Do we have cots over there that they could use? Because I know we have them here for our emergency preparedness. Like if we have, so they don't have to sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I don't think they do, but we can transport them over. It won't be no biggie to bring some over for them. So
yeah,
Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say one of the reasons that I wanted to kind of do that, I guess, is otherwise they go like in the past I've went with them to a YMCA camp out in Wisconsin, because they wanted me to do some like language stuff with them. But being able to have a lot of these the members are like our own band members come back to the res, because I know there's a couple of them that haven't ever been back or never came to the res before, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how they take it. And as for right now, they're planning on having I think 10 kids or 10 to 12 kids, and then 3 to 5 chaperones. So I believe most of them are band members, or well, the adults are at least.
It'd be really nice if they could, and I'm not sure what the weather or how it will be in March, but to go over to that Johnson Lake property.
Yeah, that
some of the outdoor stuff.
Yeah, if there's a time, and because I want to be able, one of the things that I've been trying to do from the Heritage Center is trying to build relationships with the schools and different organizations around, so that not only that they feel comfortable asking us for our input on things, but that we actually have like a seat at the table for like a lot of discussions. Because I mean, at least as far as I know, up until like the most recent years, there hasn't really been too much of a push for collaboration from Indigenous voices, and so I'd like to be able to do that, and then get some more outreach, I guess, from the health center's standpoint.
And I really think the collaboration and with rural and urban, because we have a lot of urban band members that, like you said, too, have never been up here. You know, and it's just with the mother nature and the access to the outdoors and having that experience, I think for some of those kids is just going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's funny to see like when you think kind of somewhat of a typical like a city slicker or whatever, when they're kind of scared to get dirty or scared to go in the woods and stuff. That's how they are for like maybe the first couple hours, and then once they actually hop in, then they're all in pretty much.
You know, that's something I think that we somewhat take for granted, is that because we've been living in this area for all our lives, we're so used to it, but some people don't even get that experience. And like you said, the city slickers, you know, just the opportunity to, and one comment I've heard is the how different the air is
Oh,
versus the metro area.
yeah, whenever I was in college, and then I would come up for the weekend. So sometimes I would just drive straight from the cities all the way up here and just wouldn't stop anywhere. And then being able, you can tell the difference from being like leaving there to then coming up here. And it's just like it's kind of it's easier to breathe. It's interesting if you actually like take notice of it.
I mean, see, and we don't notice it because we breathe it every day, and but yeah, so I think that's really interesting. It'd be nice to see the kids come up and do that. I don't think the council has any problems with that, and we practically encourage that of more groups to come up, because it's beautiful and it's just amazing experience for our young people.
Yeah, and so like we're trying to eventually get to a spot where they can actually like watch or learn how to do certain things, because like this activity, I guess, is kind of going to be like like snaring or trapping, and learn how to do like that sort of thing. And then I just now occurred to me that maybe depending on the time, it might be a good time to be like sugaring too, but we'll find out when we get there, I guess.
I have a question, and it's not related to anything that you've talked about, but I keep seeing, and I'm an old person, okay, so I don't understand this, and that's why, and you guys can laugh all you want, Chief, but on your name, and I've seen this more and more from younger people, but on your name on our Zoom, it says Jalen Strong, he, him. Why is that he, him there? I don't understand that.
Oh, it's kind of like a more inclusive thing, because nowadays there's people that don't identify as male or female.
Oh, okay.
They might be preferred to be like referred to as they or them, because they don't
Okay.
particularly identify with the gender. So a lot of like I've seen like a lot more people say like my personal pronouns are he, him, or like someone to say like my personal pronouns are she, her, or they, them. And there's like other ones too, like some of them are like they or zer. And like it's more so just so you don't have to ask, like say if like you weren't, I guess if you weren't entirely sure on how somebody identifies, it might be easier if they just had like he, him, her, hers, or something along those lines, where they don't have to really ask about it, and it doesn't have to be like that awkward of a interaction.
Got it. Okay, now I understand that. I've been seeing it more and more with names, and it's like I don't know what that means. So I had to ask. I'm sorry. Now I know. But I've always been told if you don't ask, you don't know. So I appreciate that. Great. Well, we look forward to you coming back and filling us in and it's March 18th through the 21st, you said?
Yep.
Okay, good. Good job.
Thank you. And then I have something real quick, but like I'm gonna have to send it to legal before, but I have like a 1 day turnaround to you if that's all right.
Sure.
So that if you guys remember last time I came on, I had I sent a couple examples of what like Grand Portage and the other tribes are saying to the MPCA. I don't know if you guys have been more in contact with the other tribes about this, but Grand Portage is planning on making like a statement tomorrow in regards about the changes. And if you guys need a refresher, basically the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is planning on changing some of their like their levels, I guess, and how they moderate water pollutants. And so one of the things that they're going to be doing is like it seems like it's going to be making it easier for them to not take into account waterways that get affected downstream. So an example might be like they're looking at pollution in Net River, maybe a mile down the road, but because they're only looking at that area, they don't have to look at the rest of Net Lake at all. And so like pollution where they're checking, might be okay, but then once it gets downriver, it can like mess up our rice crop. And so one of the things that Grand Portage is doing, I just got this yesterday, so I'm sorry about the short notice, but I'll send it to Google and then try to get it to you guys to see if you guys are gonna want to do it. I just want to get a heads up. I'll probably do it by poll and I'll talk more about it at the next council meeting. But that's just to see if you guys are okay with Grand Portage making that statement on behalf of our tribe as well.
I know that April McCormick from Secretary Treasurer from Grand Portage did a presentation to the TEC on last Friday because they're going to change the water quality standards from number 2 to 3 and 4. And, she really has, and I know Fond du Lac and Portage, and I'm not sure who else was involved, but there was a lot of research done and data that she presented with regards to the, changing of that water quality standard. And part of it was that they didn't also consult with the tribes about that. And if they did, they didn't listen to us. And basically, it's kind of been where, we voiced our concerns, but they're just falling on deaf ears. And so she did a very awesome presentation at the TEC meeting. So I know the MCT did support that. But do we want to support that as a band, guys?
I think we brought that up at 54 too, didn't we, have a couple times? The water quality.
But I think that we'd have to really weigh it out, because if we say something, it could be taken the wrong way. Then they're going to basically say, okay, now we're going to boycott Fortune Bay. We're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. We want to protect the environment in the 1854 treaty area for our future generations, but then also on current presently, they could hurt us that way. They boycott Fortune Bay, and then we'll be hurting that way. So I think that we should really take a look at it, and if we're going to be supporting it, I'm in favor of it personally. But if we take a look at it and say, what do we want to do? Do we want to support it? And then write a well-written response.
And I know that April was delegated to do the testimony tomorrow. Administrative law judge, so.
Yep. So
on behalf of the MC.
Yep. So that's what I'm kind of. She was the one, or well, Margaret Watkins from Grand Portage sent out that thing, and she was saying that April was going to be making her statement about it tomorrow, and then if the tribes wanted to do that, we can sign on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then just to respond, I guess, to the statement that all people should have a COVID test before coming up. The current plan under IPTF's COVID protocols, I guess, is that they're gonna do an oral, like the 15-minute or whatever, like test, or like the rapid test, and then they're gonna quarantine for like I think it's 4 or 5 days before they come up, and then it's just gonna be like the people that are coming up are gonna be the only they will have a test, and they will be quarantined until they can actually get like the better results, I guess. And I also understand that when you test, it's only testing for that day, and they could turn positive like the day after they test positive, but then their test would come back negative still. But then again, I just want to reiterate that it's just going to be Squidge and myself that are probably going to be in contact with these people. So nobody else in the community right now is planned to have any contact with Keep the Fire Alive people.
So they've actually kind of even put their own little plan in place for regarding.
Yep, and then they'll also, abide by our ordinances and our rules as well.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Which very exciting to have the kids come up, though. Okay, Rob.
Okay, that's all I got. I don't have nothing under other, so.
Hey, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Who was that? Travis? Oh,
Hey,
Chief.
hey,
Okay.
hey. Yo, hey, move.
Yeah, I see you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Shane. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent. Motion carried. Again, thank you all, Miigwech, for coming today and listening to the RTC meeting. Again, stay safe, wear your masks, social distance, avoid large gatherings. And then if anybody has any questions, any band members or whoever regarding the vaccine, call our clinics. And we'll be doing our video again tomorrow with regards to an update on our COVID and other issues or things coming up. Miigwech, everybody. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Hey, Rich.
Giga Wobbleman.
Ika